What up, everybody? Welcome back to Operation Moksha YouTube channel. I'm your host, Chris Orozco, and today we're going to be talking about how to integrate guilt and the secret lessons that it has to teach you. Because a lot of people, if you're anything like me, you may have some people-pleasing tendencies in which you feel guilty for some shit that you really don't need to be feeling guilty for. And so the way out of that is to actually allow yourself to have the experience of guilt. Because what happens with a lot of people-pleasing type of people that have these issues with guilt and shame and things like that is you grew up in an environment where being selfish or having your own needs or being your own person for whatever reason was rejected, and you were made to feel guilty for being a person. So when you grow up, you're not allowed to stand up for yourself, you're not allowed to claim your desires, you're not allowed to really do anything that has anything to do with you when you spend the rest of your time being a people pleaser. And when you try and stand up for yourself and do all those sorts of things, you feel a lot of guilt and shame. So what do you do about that? How do you get out of that? For me, the most important thing to do is simply allow yourself to have the experience of guilt and know that your guilt radar is all fucked up. Because people who have these guilt problems, like I used to, they will do something healthy, like stand up for themselves or say that they don't want to do something. And that will have this enormous and amazing experience of feeling like the worst person on the face of the planet for doing something really healthy that you should have been doing the whole time. So the first step is actually allowing yourself to feel guilty. Because the thing about this whole people-pleasing thing, and most problems in general, you're not actually afraid of the circumstance, you're afraid of how you feel. It's the guilt that you're avoidant to. It's not actually disappointing people, it's not actually causing any problems, it's the guilt or the shame. That's what you're really afraid of. So if you can embrace the guilt or the shame, then suddenly the circumstance stops being scary. It becomes just a neutral experience. So the more comfortable you get with guilt and the more comfortable you get with shame, the less avoidant you are of it, and therefore the less avoidant you are of the situations that might stir it up for you. Now, in order to fully integrate it on a fundamental level, which we do on this channel, because that's what we fucking do, what you need to do is get really comfortable with that feeling and ask yourself, did I actually do anything wrong by my own standards? Guilt and shame are, in my own personal opinion, the most valuable assets to help you figure out what your own unique values are. Because you're gonna feel guilty for all kinds of shit that you don't need to feel guilty for. But when you are having this experience of guilt and shame, if you allow yourself to have the experience, but ask yourself, did I actually do anything wrong? You will come up on answers. You will think, yeah, that was actually wrong. I didn't actually like that. That's not part of my values. And then you clean up your mess, you do whatever you need to do, you have your communications, you get yourself back into integrity, and you feel better. However, there will be other times where you realize it's like, you know what? I actually didn't do anything wrong. That was a totally normal, healthy thing to do. I just happened to feel guilty because I did it, and this other person didn't like it. In that case, all you really need to do is just love yourself. Be like, yeah, I feel guilty, and I know what I did was good. Yeah, I feel guilty, and I deserve to love myself. Yeah, I feel guilty, and I'm gonna do that shit a lot more because that's really healthy and this is really good for me. And so when you do that, when you love yourself no matter how guilty you feel, and when you allow yourself to genuinely ask the question, if you felt guilty, whether or not you did something wrong, and give yourself a genuine, honest answer, you do that over enough period of time, you'll figure out who you are, you'll figure out what your values are, and you will figure out what you need to do to stay in integrity with those values so you can have a clean conscience, and guilt and shame could just be a thing of the past. I hope this was helpful. This is what I have personally used to deal with those things, because I had really bad guilt and shame issues for my entire life, and now I can kind of just do and say whatever I want, and if people don't like it, I don't really care all that much. But I do check to see if what I've done was wrong by my own standards, because the beauty of it is when you live in alignment with your own values and your own integrity, you have a clean conscience, you feel good about yourself, and other people attacking you and shaming you and trying to make you feel bad doesn't do anything. It starts to become kind of amusing, and you kind of start to feel bad for the people that are trying to hurt you. So again, I'm Chris Orozco. I really hope you got some value out of this. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the really good things. Let me know if you have any questions about this. I can clarify anything that you need because I really want to make sure that you can do this, and I'll see you on the next one.